Today, who's our special guest, who has kind of an interesting story. I'm not even sure where to start with this one.
You know, so how many times do you guys hear that people say, oh, I want to train, but I just don't have time?
Every excuse in the book.
Right? And that's the
Kids,
biggest one,
families,
right?
jobs,
yeah, jobs, school.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sarah is pretty friggin' amazing. We started watching her and talking to her about a year ago now, right? It's been about a year?
Yeah, it was March of last year, yeah.
Yeah. And she had some odd hours, and so I finally asked, hey Sarah, what do you do? She says, well, I'm in med school. Okay. So Sarah comes in, she trains every day. She trains intensely hard. She's in here for a long duration, and she just graduated from med school this last week.
Congratulations.
Yes, pretty amazing. So it's kind of hard for me to accept when people tell me they don't have time, knowing what your schedule is. And you're not only training, what are you getting ready for, Sarah?
I'm getting ready for the powerlifting meet that's next Saturday. Not this Saturday, but Saturday after that.
The Nevada State,
yes,
right?
the Nevada State one. Yes. USA PL.
PL, Nevada State.
Exactly,
right.
Yes.
Is this your first meet?
This is my second. I did the, now I'm forgetting the name of it, but the one in December that was at the Grand Sierra that went at the same time as the...
So you've been, throughout this year here, you've been pretty much training for powerlifting.
Since I started here, yes. I want to say I started here in March and mid-March, and by probably April 1st, Tammy had already talked me into doing a power meet. So
you are strong. You were going to do a meet.
And unfortunately, there was one in May. I came here in March. There was one in May that I wanted to do, but unfortunately, with my school schedule, I was actually down in Las Vegas at the time, so I kind of committed to the one in December. It was my first one, and it was a blast. So
it's fun, right?
Yeah, I'm hooked.
And why? Why is it fun? What do you enjoy about it?
I think that what I like about it is that it's sort of one of those things that I can do whenever. I've never been much for team sports because I don't like being told what to do. So I don't like. I'm not going to go to and have a coach tell me in a group of 16 people to go run laps. I will never do that. So it was kind of one of those things where I could sort of play with things a little bit on my own. And then as a female, it was something that I could do that was a little unusual and didn't focus on body image and didn't focus on, things like that. That was a physical fitness kind of thing. Because I think when I see things like, a lot of other sports that are geared more towards women, a lot of it is about like weight loss and
image.
Yeah, image and things like that. And so what I really enjoyed about powerlifting was that it's what your body can do, the end.
And did you do sports before in school at all, or in your life?
No, I wasn't. I've never been incredibly athletic. I did. I played softball when I was younger for a little while, and then I took up ballet when I was 18, and I did that till I was 22. And I wasn't very good at that either, but I did it anyway. It was a lot of fun. And so no, this is kind of one of those things that I just sort of fell into, and I honestly don't know why I'm here or how I ended up here.
So you can start at any age. Mm-hmm. You can be a female and do it.
Absolutely.
You don't have to have had a history of being an athlete prior.
No.
Right?
Definitely not.
Yeah. So it's a pretty cool sport. And what about the people you've met while you've done it, the powerlifting?
Oh my gosh, that's the best part. I come here, and Tammy had mentioned that I work out for long durations, and most of that is because I'm just shooting the breeze like for hours at a time. Like my squat workouts take 3 hours, and it's not because I'm squatting for 3 hours, it's because I'm squatting for 45 minutes, and then I'm talking to people. Just some of the most supportive people, and people from all kinds of walks of life that that just end up in the sport. And I think that that's what's kind of cool about it, is that you have doctors, you have truck drivers, you have people that,
Homeless
people, you have everybody,
yeah.
and everybody's here, and everybody's here doing the same
They can
thing.
come
And
here.
as soon as you walk in, like, everybody's the same, everybody's doing the same thing, and that's been fantastic.
So you said you're not into the team thing, which I totally agree with. But it's kind of different in powerlifting, because I mean, it is kind of like a team. You're meeting all those people, but it seems, for me, it's like there's a different focus
Yeah.
than any other kind of team sport.
It is. The common goal is, I mean, amongst everybody, is for everybody to improve, but not necessarily like how you're going to do that. So, I mean, I'll have people cheer me on when I'm squatting, but the second they start going, well, have you thought about doing this? Then I'm like, oh, it drives me crazy. So I think it's a little bit like the way that I feel about it's a little bit differently, because I love the support of everybody, and I think of it as a team in that sense. Like, it's just being very supportive.
I think of it almost in best of both worlds, because it is a team, because you're getting that support from other people, but again, you don't have to rely on other people to.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
when it comes down to winning, it's
It's you on the platform.
Exactly.
And winning doesn't necessarily mean getting that gold
Yeah.
medal. Winning is improving on what you're best at. Oh, you too, right? Really, it's kind of all about winning.
Everyone loves the
I
silver.
wasn't.
Hey, I got a silver.
It's a world record. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's true too. I think that I really like it when we get women that come into the gym, like Sarah, that don't have a lot of history with sports, and for them to experience the support of that, because there's no judgment. It doesn't matter what you weigh, what you look like. The support is for whatever your goals are, and to see people blossom and their confidence, and they get so excited, and we get excited when they hit PRs, right? That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to watch.
Yeah.
I mean, it's been pretty interesting seeing. It seems like there's been a lot more women start powerlifting, and not only
Yes.
powerlifting, but just coming to the gym in general.
Strength sports.
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, just seeing their confidence. I mean, just all together. I mean, not just body image, but just confidence in general. I mean, coming in, excited, and introducing themselves. Where the very first day they were, over in the corner doing their own little thing.
And you guys
And
don't
here-
let that happen. Pull people out of corners.
This gym seems to have a high amount of females that train seriously too, compared to a lot of gyms.
We are just under 40% females in our membership,
It seems huge.
which is huge.
It's awesome.
And especially
Yeah.
for a gym that's not 24-hour fitness or some fitness
Box
gym.
gym, right?
It
Yeah.
actually has power racks and stuff.
Yeah, and at first, anyone comes in and they're a little intimidated by this, but then they realize there really isn't, and we talked about this before, about the judgment. It's not, there's a big support system here, no matter what their goal is, and what they look like doing it, right? Because you don't look
I
pretty when you're
think
powerlifting.
there is
No.
judgment, but I think it's judgment to help people improve.
Right, correct,
Like they're judging you because they want to see you improve. They
Right.
want to see you get better.
right, true.
I think for me, I've always really been for women in powerlifting and strength sports and any sport. I think a woman can pretty much do whatever they want. So it's always cool to me to see women come into the sport, and especially I've seen a lot of women come in here and like a trainer will have them go flip tires or something, and they get so excited. It's like the whole world told them they can't do it, and they get to do it, and they're like, oh man, this is awesome.
Yeah,
Did you feel some of that when you started powerlifting?
A little bit, yeah. I actually don't even know how I ended up powerlifting. I think I just sort of wandered over to a platform, and I count when I started powerlifting as when I first deadlifted, which was like February of 2014. And I don't even know why I did it. I just wandered over there. I saw some people doing it, and I was like, well, that looks kind of silly, but they're doing it a lot, so it's probably like helpful. And so I went over there and I started doing it, and I just loved it. I mean, and the way I'm built, I'm naturally a much better deadlifter than a bencher. It's got a mile to go. And so the first thing that I kind of picked that I hooked on was deadlifting, and I was decently okay at it. And I think that was really a good thing, that I picked something right away to kind of hook on, so that I was decently okay with, that kind of hooked me into the sport. Because I think the first thing I ever did was bench. I probably would have given up a long time ago, and I wouldn't be here.
Sarah, what did you pull this morning?
300.
300 pounds, right?
Yeah.
A 300-pound mark. Pretty cool.
Yeah,
Pretty
it was
cool.
a lot smoother than the maxes I've done in the past.
And why is that? What changes?
Everything, your form, kind of how you approach things. I take a lot of advice from Bob and Tammy on how to fix little things, and I think that slowly I've had to just kind of make little tiny adjustments, and today I just had to do this one little adjustment where I kind of pulled my shoulders back, and all of a sudden everything just moved like butter. And I look back and I actually did 315 in February, and it was so ugly that Levi and Dan were actually watching me, and neither of them said congratulations when I was done. They were both just like, that was so horrible. I don't know if I can watch that again. That was the worst thing I've ever seen. And so for 300 to be much, much better, just with that one tiny little thing.
Yeah, it moves so fast on the ground. It was up before we even, it was amazing. Beautiful.
And that's kind of the thing with powerlifting, is that like just tiny, tiny little, you just chip away at your form and your confidence and whatever it is that helps you move the weight. And
so in this sport, would you say that it's part mental?
Oh yeah. A lot. Most of it, actually. 95%.
Especially when you're on the platform and meet.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So do you think that this would be beneficial for young women?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I try to talk anybody into it who will listen, because I'm like, no, listen here. I'm smaller than I've ever been. I get to eat way more food, so much food. I'm so tired of eating, I could die. And you just get this incredible confidence boost, and you meet some really amazing people. Like some of my closest friends are people that I've just met here, just squatting or deadlifting or doing whatever, and then you just start talking and see this really great group of people, and it's a great sport.
It's a community.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think that this will transfer into your career now? I mean, what you're learning here, will you be able to take some of that into your career?
Definitely. One of my big things that I love to talk to people about, that I probably perseverate on it, because they probably want to ask other questions, but I just stick on it, is diet and exercise. Mm-hmm. I have seen so many things that could be just improved with just a little bit of exercise, and when I see people, sometimes I'm just like, oh my gosh, your life would change if you could just get under a barbell. Like your whole life would change. So definitely, and I've tried to, at least in my kind of limited clinical experience so far, tried to get my patients to incorporate some sort of strength training, because I think that that improves everything as you get over your bone density, your just like your muscle, your proportions, so that you're not falling all the time, and like you have a little strength to do little things, like even just a little bit. Very important.
Kind of what me and Tammy have been preaching for a while.
Yeah.
Metabolic syndrome, all of those things go away, right?
Mm-hmm.
With resistance training.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you do it? I mean, med school takes a lot of time, and you don't get a lot of sleep. And so how were you able to incorporate, some considerably
some super long workouts. It's okay, you can say.
Training sessions into that
unbearably
schedule.
long workouts. So I actually, I consider myself pretty lucky when people say that I have a busy schedule. I don't see it that way. I'm 26. I'm not married. I don't have any kids. I consider, when I look at my life, I feel like I'm just taking care of me, and that's it. And so I don't think that I have a lot of strain in my schedule. But looking back, I definitely have. I have to get here pretty early in the morning. The way I make it work is I definitely do get a lot of sleep. When people are calling me at 8 o'clock, I've been in bed for a half hour by then. So I hope it wasn't anything important. I make sure I'm eating regularly, and I make sure that when I'm tired, I take a day off. I don't know, I'm an early bird, kind of, and I wasn't always. I became one during medical school, because you kind of have to be when you have to be at the hospital at 4:30 to see patients before you round you have no choice. And so I got used to being here really early, and there's been a couple of times when I've been here with you, cracking open the gym at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I just do what I have to do because I love this and I don't want to give it up. It's there's 2 things in my life that I love doing every day, and one of them is my job now. Now it's a job. Now I'm not just a student. One of them's my job, and then the other one is this. And if I only have 2 things to do a day that I love, I should make time for them.
So you can always make time for things that are important,
Absolutely.
right?
Absolutely.
And I think this is one of the most important things that you could do for yourself. And it doesn't have to be in a gym. We talked about this before. It can be walking up a mountainside, taking the dog for a walk. It doesn't have to be in a gym.
Absolutely.
You need to find what you like and what you have passion for, and you need to do it. But you need to move.
Absolutely.
So tell me a little bit about the diet part, because you kind of touched on that. And
Yeah. So the diet part was actually the hardest part of this whole thing, because I am a girl, because I live here in America. I thought I basically had to eat salad and air and water.
Basically what I eat.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah. Dieting. You guys are dieting. Yeah. So that was actually one of the hardest things. And when I first started coming here, I think I was tracking everything. I was writing down every single grape that I would eat into my FitnessPal, because they have they've got a lot of sugar, and I got to write that down. I wouldn't have bread in my apartment because carbs are the devil, and so on and so forth. And the diet has been the hardest thing for me, and I finally kind of overcome it, but slowly I had to start increasing my calories, because when I first started coming here and I was working out 5 days a week, for 2 hours at a time, I was tired and I was exhausted and I was like cranky, and I wasn't making any progress, and I was just ridiculous. And so it's just slowly kind of started increasing my calories, and then at some point, and I was staying the same weight. I was increasing my calories. It was so funny. I was increasing my calories, but because I had all this energy, I was working out faster, I was doing more things, and I was staying the same weight. And at some point, I've always hovered around 130, 132 pounds. At some point about 6 months ago, I decided I hate being this weight. I hate being this weight. I'm tired. I'm not getting any stronger. So I decided I was going to kind of bulk up a little bit and put on a little bit more muscle mass. So right now, I'm cutting a little weight for the meet, because I'm competing in the 138.7 or whatever it is. But I was hanging out at about 143, and I've never been happier in my whole life doing that. Actually, I had tons of energy, and I did that by eating literally everything. The last time I was tracking was about 3 or 4 months ago, and I was eating 2,500 calories a day, and then I just decided to stop tracking altogether and just eat when I was hungry and eat a lot. And I've had this conversation with a lot of women at the gym. They're just like, so what do you eat every day? I'm like, I don't even know. It's just a blur. The whole thing is a blur. I'm just constantly eating. I don't know. And it's been fantastic. Just from a strength and energy standpoint, I've had to start tracking a skosh just to get down to where I need to be for my weight class. But even that wasn't hard, because I've been able to retain a lot of my strength from that. So.
And you look amazing.
Thank you.
So,
I finally got a little muscle. I'm trying.
Yeah, you're doing awesome. So
Yeah.
good job.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're definitely an inspiration to a lot of people in here. So thank you for being part of the community
Yeah.
and the AI family, and
Definitely.
for talking to us today. And hopefully some other women will hear this and know that, yeah, hey, I can do that too.
I hope so. It's like magic.
Come in, lift a lot. I mean, you can eat whatever you want.
Yeah.
Basically.
That's what I do.
Sales pitch, right?
Should be on the sign of the front
Yeah,
of the gym.
exactly.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yes, you're welcome.
Okay, so we're going to wrap it up.
Well, actually, you know what? We're going to add a little on to this because Sarah is competing next week. So after the meet, Davey's going to interview her, and we're going to talk to her about the meet.
Sounds good.
We'll see you here in a few minutes.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Okay.
Good. Thanks for tuning in. And our next guest that we're going to have on next week's podcast is going to be Levi Evans.
The Levi Evans.
The Levi Evans.
Half of the Levi Evans.
And Levi's amazing. Well, I think you'll want to hear this. Definitely you'll open some eyes.
He's all right.
Was.
So,
Was.
yes. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.